Thank you for tuning into podcast number 50 of Sports Talk with JWock. I am your host, Jonah Walkenfoos, and I know today is kind of a big day. We're on podcast number 50. This is pretty awesome. I know I was kind of hyping it up. I apologize for not being as special this week because, well, we kind of got podcast 50 at a very unfortunate time where I'm going to be doing a lot of finals for school and everything, and I just have a lot of schoolwork to do. So I think this is just a good time since the NBA season is ending here this week for the regular season at least. I think we should just do a little bit of a going back in time and looking at how I ranked the NBA teams and how based off of what I think they were going to do come the end of the season. And since, well, we're at the end of the season, let's see how accurate or how inaccurate I did. So if you want to hear more about that, stay tuned. Okay, so we are back, and, well, it's about the end of the regular season, so we're going to be looking at my NBA teams tier list rankings based off of what I was going to think and basically my predictions going into this upcoming season. By the way, if I'm talking like all out of sort and stuff and like I'm a little off right now, that's because I took last week off because I didn't have time to do a podcast, but we're back. So just bear with me. I'm still kind of getting through the rust a little bit, but let's get right into the video real quick and let's get right into it.
Just want to say this is my personal opinion. This is not, just like a factual thing. This is what I think
oh my goodness.
I think they are going to rank.
I didn't even know what I was saying.
I just wanted to clarify. I don't want any of you
Also had my head all cut off at the top. We're getting a lot better. We're getting a lot better. Don't worry about that.
This is my opinion, and this could definitely be wrong. As a lot of my
Okay, let's skip forward.
So we're gonna first start off with the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay.
Oh wait, let me do the tier ranking. So.
Oh, we're not starting yet.
Tier is top 3.
I'm just talking all the whole time.
The second layer is seeds 4 through 6, basically the other seeds that aren't going to be in the play-in. Then we got the play-in seeds, which is 8 through 10, and then we got the bottom half, which is 11 through 15. So we're going to start off going left to right. So we're going to start off with the Brooklyn Nets. So
I have so much better of a mic now. Like, I got this thing during Christmas from my parents, and it is so much better. I also have a better camera. I'm so happy that, like, the gear is better. Even the background, like, you could even see, like, I have the poster and everything. Just thought I'd share that just to see how far I've made it so far.
The Brooklyn Nets are an interesting team. They just traded away Mikal Bridges. And personally, I think this is an easy 11 through 15. Now, I'm going to put this in designated order. So, like, from this tier, 11 is going to be, like, from the very left, it's going to be, what I think seed 11 is going to be, and then so on and so forth. And then the far right's going to end up being the 15th seed in the East of what I think. So,
and bear with me on this. This is my first ever reaction video, so like this is new to me as well. This was like my first ever tier list ranking, and this is just exciting. I think this definitely got a good amount of views. I got 76 views on it so far, so that's actually pretty good. So, but based off of the Brooklyn Nets, let me pull up the standings real quick based off of what it is right now as of Thursday, April 10th. And the Brooklyn Nets are currently 12th. So, I mean, as of now, I think I got it pretty good.
Tuned for that, and I'm probably going to switch things around a lot. And this is the first time I'm doing this, so bear with me. This is interesting. This is brand new for me, but this is a journey for all of us, isn't it? So, let's go to the Atlanta Hawks now. So, another interesting offseason. I mean, they just traded DeJounte Murray. They got lucky with the number 1 pick, drafted Zachary Ricochet. I think they're going to be a play-in tournament as of now. I may switch that later, but I think they could be like a lower half play-in team. I still think they're going to be good. I mean, they have Trae Young. Like, this is going to be a good team regardless, and I think Dyson Daniels is going to shine with this team. So, and Ricochet, who knows? He could be the Rookie of the Year. Probably not, but let's move.
I think that's a good take. I think that's a solid start to what I was thinking. I think, obviously my Dyson Daniels take definitely worked out. Dyson Daniels has been shining for the Atlanta Hawks. He's been I think he's the leader in steals. I don't know what I just said there. But, he's been playing excellent. He's starting to become a little bit of a star in at least defensively for the Atlanta Hawks. And Zachary Ricochet is like second right now in rookie standings right now under just Stephon Castle. So I think that's a good take. And right now the Atlanta Hawks are number 8. So good take.
Come on, Boston. So I think Boston's probably going to be a top 3 team. No, I'm kidding. They're definitely going to be probably the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. This team is like the first team that won the championship last year where they made like 0 moves, and I could still say that they can still be championship contenders and probably are the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference.
It's a good take. They're number 2 in the East right now.
I know some people are going to be triggered at that. If you know, you know, but we're going to move on. The Charlotte Hornets, they're an interesting team. I personally think they could be a sneaky team to make the play-in team if LaMelo Ball is healthy. But for now, I'm going to put them in 11th through 15, kind of above Brooklyn. I think they're going to end up being a better team than a lot of people anticipate, especially with bringing back Miles Bridges. I think that was a super underrated signing. And then drafting Tijan Salam, another great draft for them. And if they're healthy, they could be a sneaky play-in team. So, yeah.
I don't think that was a bad take. The Charlotte Hornets are 14 right now, ranking-wise. They're probably going to stay that way. I think the Charlotte Hornets still do have a good future. I think Tijan Salan's definitely struggled this year, rookie season-wise, but overall, I think it's okay. I think Tijan Salan's a solid player still. I think if LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Tijan Salan are all healthy, and then you go into next year with like a top 5 pick, this team could be definitely dangerous. But yeah, I think that's a solid take. And so far, we're doing pretty good. We're actually pretty accurate on the picks. And I'm not going to try to make this video super long, but it's going to be a little longer since I'm reacting, but we're going to try to get through it as quick as possible.
Chicago Bulls, my Chicago Bulls. I think this is going to be a play-in team. I think they're going to be one of the lower half teams, kind of with Atlanta. I mean, they're going to be an interesting team too, because like they do have a lot of young players, but if they all click, they could be kind of, you know, a decent team in the play-in tournament. But I think a play-in is fair for them, so I'm going to just keep them there.
That's a good take again. The Bulls are actually under the Hawks right now at number 9. They're only a half a game behind as of now, but that's another good take. I think the Chicago Bulls, you know, moving on from Zach LaVine has definitely helped them move on, but yeah, let's keep going.
Cavaliers, I'm going to put in 4 through 6 right now. I think, you know, they haven't done too many crazy moves, but I still think they're going to be a very solid team, and I think they're better than a play-in for now.
Oh, man. That's probably my worst take. I don't think anybody was honestly expecting Cleveland to be this good. They're right now 63-16. They locked in the number 1 spot for the Eastern Conference. This Cleveland Cavaliers team has proved me wrong, and I will fully admit that. But like, shout out to the Cavs for playing that well, man. It's unbelievable.
The Indiana Pacers, I'm also going to put in the 4 through 6. This is going to be a good team. Do I put them above Cleveland? Ooh, that's tough because Cleveland had a tough.
Don't do it, Jonah. Don't do it.
At one point, I'm gonna put Indiana.
Oh no.
Cleveland for now. That could switch for. That could be different soon. Next up is the Detroit.
Not a bad take as far as the Pacers being in the 4 through 6. They're actually ranked 4th right now in the East. But wow, putting them above Cleveland, that hurts.
Detroit Pistons. I think this team is going to be also another underrated team, a team that I think could make some noise in the Eastern Conference. Not in the higher part of the Eastern Conference, but I think they can be an 11 through 15 sneaky play-in team, kind of like the Hornets. I think the Hornets are going to be above them right now for that play-in spot if it came down to it.
Yeah, that was a bad take. The Pistons are ranked, I believe, 5th right now, or no, 6th right now, right under the Bucks. They've locked in the playoff spot to where they don't even have to play in the play-in tournament. So that was a really bad take for me.
The Miami Heat.
Shout out to the Pistons, by the way.
They could be a 4 through 6 team. I think Khalil Ware was actually a great signing or a great draft pick. Losing Caleb Martin doesn't help. I'm going to put him in the higher play-in for now.
It's a good take.
Because I see a lot of teams that are going to need to be.
The Heat are 10th right now.
4 through 6. The Bucks are a tough team because I am a little lost in this.
Whoops.
I'm going to put them top 3 for now because I think they're going to be better than the other team that's in this list. Because I think Giannis and Dame like their first year didn't end up going very well, but realistically in the playoffs they were injured. We never really got to see them play, so I think the Bucks are gonna be good this next year. I mean, a lot of people are throwing some question marks on them, but I think they're still gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucks are still a solid team. They're number 5 in the East, so it's not the greatest take right there, but honestly, like, I don't think it's that bad. I think the Bucks have definitely struggled. We've seen statistics how they're actually a lot better when Kuzma's off of the floor, and that was like the big trade they made in this in the trade deadline. So I'm very, very, very curious to see how the Bucks are going to play in the playoffs, but only time will tell.
The New York Knicks, I think they're also going to be a top 3 team, and
the Knicks are currently the 3 seed right now. That's really good for the New York Knicks. I think this is just a good team going into playoffs. Brunson's healthy. Anunoby's playing unreal basketball. Watch out for the Knicks in the Eastern Conference for sure.
I'm going to put them above the Bucks. I think the Bucks are going to be 3. I think the Knicks are going to be 2. I think the Knicks are they're just on a roll. I mean, you've got Tom Thibodeau.
We're going to skip ahead a little bit. Make sure this video is not super long.
This is another tough one. I'm going to put them above Cleveland. I think Paulo Banchero is going to have a really big year, and I think Franz Wagner is going to continue to develop. They had a good draft with Tristan Da Silva. He's going to be a good, solid role player. They also signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope from the Nuggets. He's going to help them a lot. Honestly, I could see them being above the Pacers. I might switch that.
Oh, man. What am I doing? Putting the Pacers above the Cavs is crazy, or not. Well, yeah, that's crazy. But putting the Magic above the Cavs is just wild. The Magic ended up being the 7th seed. They're 500 right now at 40-40. Whew, that's tough. That's tough.
At some point, but to be honest with you, the Magic, they're going to look good next year. Don't sleep on the Magic, for sure.
I think they were good, though. Like, I did make a good point. I do think they would have been good if injuries didn't happen, in my opinion. But that's just me.
So the 76ers are going to be the team that are going to miss out on the 4 through 6, which I don't like, which means I'm going to have to move one of these 3 teams down. I think Paul George was just excellent.
I moved Cleveland down? Oh, man. I mean, to be fair, this Philadelphia team we all thought was going to be a lot better because, I mean, adding Paul George in the offseason, drafting Jared McCain, he was actually excellent in the start of the season until he got injured. But injuries just killed this team, and just the lack of leadership that Joel Embiid didn't bring to the team is why this team has been struggling so bad and why they're going to be a potential team to be in the lottery. Or they are going to be in the lottery, but they might not even keep their picks. So Philadelphia is in shambles right now.
I think they've just had great offseason moves. Caleb Martin was a signing. Andre Drummond, underrated signing. This Philly team's going to look kind of dangerous. And I'm going to switch one thing real quick. I'm going to put Chicago above Atlanta. No, I'm not. Never mind. Ignore that. Next up, we technically have 2 spots down at the 11 through 15, and I think Toronto. Okay, first off, I'm going to put Washington over there. I think the Nets are going to be the worst team in the NBA, in my opinion. But Toronto, ooh. I'm gonna move the Bulls down and put the Raptors up. I think RJ Barrett's going to have a good year. Scotty Barnes is going to continue to develop. And even Emmanuel Quickly.
Okay, let's see if that's going to be the end. Okay, so that's like the final, like, little bit of Eastern Conference, I guess, standings I did. The things I got wrong, I definitely think, the Celtics and Knicks, I know I said I was doing particular order, but let's just see, like, based off of accuracy, based off of seedings. So the Celtics and Knicks are correct. The Bucks are wrong, but the Pacers are right. The 76ers and Magic are wrong. The Cavs are way wrong, man. I had them in the play-in tournament, which is really sad. The Miami Heat I got correct. Atlanta I got correct. If I moved Toronto down there, I would have gotten that correct. But it is what it is. I think it was relatively accurate. I think going into this season, I think this isn't the worst standings. And I think, I can see why I thought Cleveland wasn't going to play very good just because of their past playoff performances and stuff. But man, was I wrong, and I will fully admit that. But anyways, let's get on to the Western Conference. Skip ahead a little bit here. Oh my goodness, I'm talking forever. Here we go.
To be honest, other than Josh Giddey,
once again, bear with me. I'm still learning this new reaction video stuff, so bear with me.
They're going to be a top 3 seed. They're going to be a team contending for a championship, in my opinion. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they just look dangerous. They've got the offense, they've got the defense, they've got the floor spacing. Like, this is going to be a good Oklahoma City Thunder team, and they're still young. So look out, NBA fans, for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
It's a good take on me, my part.
The Phoenix Suns are an interesting team. They're definitely not a top 3. I'm going to put them in 4 through 6 for now, because I think Booker and Durant are going to start to click here in Phoenix, and it's going to be dangerous. Like, when you got those 2 scores clicking, it's dangerous. And they got solid depth. I mean, I like the drafting of Ryan Dunn. They've made some solid off-season moves, but I might have to move them down to play-in at some point. But let's just keep going on throughout the list.
I don't think that's the worst take. I mean, it's a bad take, but like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, I really was rooting for them. I really was hoping they worked. I don't even think it's necessarily them that like is the problem. It's more the coaching in Budenholzer. I don't think Budenholzer was doing very good. And also just having Bradley Beal on the team has definitely just brought them down so much. I'm going to be doing like team like previews and reviews on teams this offseason, especially, looking into next season and just like basing off of how I think they played last season or this current season. So I'll be talking a lot about the Suns, but the Suns are definitely a very disappointing team.
Portland Trailblazers is another interesting team. I could honestly, in the Eastern Conference, I think they'd be a play-in team. But in the Western Conference, with how stacked it is, I'm going to say 11 through 15. This is a team that's going to be surprisingly good. I think Scoot Henderson's going to have an insane year 2. And he's going to look really, really good out there. They also drafted Donovan Clingan, who's going to be a really good backup center for now for them. And obviously there's been some buzz that they might look to trade DeAndre Ayton by the trade deadline, which is a very fair move for them because I think Clingan's a starting center in this NBA when it's all said and done.
That's not a bad take. The Portland Trailblazers have been surprisingly good. They unfortunately just missed out on the play-in tournament, but in my opinion, I think that was not a bad take. I think that's relatively accurate. They're in the Western Conference, which is extremely stacked, and that's kind of why they didn't make it. But next year, man, watch out for this Portland team. They could be a problem.
The Sacramento Kings, obviously adding DeMar DeRozan, bringing back Malik Monk, 2 amazing moves. I'm also going to say 4 through 6 for now. Like I said, there are a lot of stacked teams kind of going towards the end of the list, so that may change.
Not the best take there.
San Antonio Spurs, this is going to be a playing team. I know a lot of people might be doubting them, but adding Chris Paul was an excellent addition. Also drafting Stephon Castle, I love it. And I think Wemby's just going to continue to develop. If Devin Vassell can really become that second or third scoring option on this team and really develop, this could be a dangerous first team. Just saying.
I don't think that's a bad take at all. I don't want to always just credit myself for everything, but if Wemby never got hurt, realistically, this team probably is making the play-in tournament over either who's number 10. Let me look real quick for the Western Conference. The Dallas Mavericks. I think they would have definitely passed the Dallas Mavericks in rankings. And adding De'Aaron Fox, unfortunately, we also didn't see Devin Vassell really make that leap. But now that they have De'Aaron Fox, it's he can now be that third scorer, or they can maybe try to look to trade him in the offseason. But overall, I don't think that's a bad take. Unfortunately, injuries got in the way for this team.
Jazz, I'm not sure why their logo's completely cut off, but this is the Utah Jazz. This is going to be another 11 through 15. I'm going to have to move things around.
Worst team in the league.
But, I don't think the Jazz are going to be great.
Let's skip ahead.
I'm not sure where the Jazz are really fun, so I still think Dallas Mavericks. Adding Klay Thompson was huge. Najee Marshall is also a very underrated signing. I think this team's going to be a for sure lock 4 through 6. There's just so many good teams in the West. It's unfair. The Eastern Conference is so much worse.
It's not a bad take at the beginning of the season. They added Klay Thompson, a really good shooter, to go alongside Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. And unfortunately, Nico Harrison, I believe that's his name, the Mavericks GM, nobody cares about him because they all want him fired. But Yeah, you messed up your squad by trading away Luka Doncic. Like, you had a finals run, and then you just move on from a generational player. I don't know what the Mavericks did there. Like, it was just stupid.
When it comes to just overall depth at the Western Conference, Denver Nuggets, I think they're going to be a top. I think they're still going to be a top 3 team. I mean, you got Jokic and Murray. I mean, I get it. You lost KCP. The backup center is going to be a big question, and even the depth still, which they were questioning even last year. But who knows? Maybe these players can develop. If Julian Strawther can have a good year, I think this Nuggets team could be sneaky good again.
Julian Strawther did actually have a good year. Unfortunately, injuries once again got in the way. Backup center has definitely still been the issue for the Nuggets. They still really haven't figured that out. They've tried Zeke Naji. That's been okay. DeAndre Jordan's just old, so he's not going to be able to play every single day and be able to perform at his best. And as far as the Nuggets having all this drama, which I'll be talking about in later episodes, this Nuggets team should have been better. Right now they're like 5th right now in the West, 4th right now in the West. But there was talks of danger of them dropping to the play-in tournament. I don't know what really happened. I think it's just their lack of defense, also the coaching, and then just lack of moves by the GM, which now he's gone. So hopefully the Nuggets can make a little bit of a deep playoff run, but that's going to be tough now that they're seated at number 4.
But they weren't sneaky good these last few years. I think this year they're going to be definitely climbing up instead of being at the top, but this is going to be a good team still. Golden State Warriors is going to be a playing team. I think they're... I mean, they have Curry. They have Draymond. Kuminga's going to make a big step.
Skip forward. I mean, I rank the Warriors. I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I rank the Warriors in the play-in tournament at this time because there was no Jimmy Butler. Before the Jimmy Butler trade, this team was definitely a play-in team. They were a play-in team until Jimmy Butler came along, and now they're just dominating in the NBA right now. So I don't think that's a bad take at all.
This could also be another play-in team, but I'm going to say 11 through 15 for now. This is for now. I'm probably going to end up switching this significantly by the end of when it's all said and done.
This Rockets team, man, I've always been high on the Rockets. I don't know why I put them there, honestly. I just got so overwhelmed with how many good teams were in the West. This Rockets team is number 2 in the West right now. They are dominating. Shout out to the Rockets, man. You proved me wrong.
The LA Clippers are also going to be a playing team, and I think they're going to be, I don't know, I think they're going to be, I'm going to put the Clippers above the Spurs. I don't think you can say the Spurs are going to be better than them yet, but the Clippers are going to struggle if Kawhi Leonard cannot find his health, and same with James Harden. I don't know, they made some good off-season acquisitions with Derrick Jones Jr., but
I'm going to kind of let the video run.
They're just not as good anymore without Paul George. It made a significant difference. The Los Angeles Lakers, this is going to be interesting. This is a playing team. I don't care what anybody says. This is a playing team. You got LeBron AD, I don't care. Anyways,
that honestly wasn't the worst take, but once you traded for Luka, they've been playing really good lately. Austin Reeves has stepped up. Shout out to the Lakers, man. They're playing good. I disrespected them, and they're proving me wrong.
Let's move on to the Memphis Grizzlies. This is going to be a healthy team. This is dangerous. This is borderline top 3, in my opinion. This Memphis Grizzlies team, look out for sure 4-6. I think they're going to be some 4 seed. I think the Mavericks are good, but this Memphis team, they're going to be dangerous. Look out for this Grizzlies team. I really do think they are going to be a good team this upcoming year, if healthy. And with these lists, it's all if they're healthy, which someone's going to get hurt.
And with this Grizzlies team, honestly, they've been mediocre when it comes to health this season, and they're number 6 seed right now. They were top 3 for a while. This is a good team. The Grizzlies, definitely look out for them in the playoffs. I don't think that's a bad take that I had at the beginning of the season, and I think it's checking out to be a good take right now.
I hope not, but they're going to be a top 3 team, and I think they're going to be past the Nuggets. I think Anthony Edwards is going to have an insane season, potential MVP season. you could switch back and forth the Nuggets, Timberwolves, but I'm going to put the Timberwolves. Just be safe. Put them over the Nuggets. But I think the Nuggets are going to be hungry.
I'm not sure if I did this video before the Karl Anthony Towns trade, but even then, like, I was really high on the Timberwolves, and I thought Anthony Edwards was legit going to put up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander numbers, which he hasn't been, but he's still been very solid. I just think Julius Randle's just a really bad fit, and not getting rid of Gobert was just stupid. And now they're going to be in trouble of potentially losing Naz Reid in the offseason. So this is a really bad take on my part, because the Timberwolves right now are seeded number 8, which would be in the play-in tournament, but this is just nuts.
I don't know now that I think
Let me skip ahead a little bit.
And then we need to move one of these down. Ooh, this is going to be another tough one. Because I feel like this is a lock.
Let's skip ahead still.
Forget it. I'm going to put the Lakers, I'm going to put the Rockets above, I'm going to put that, and then I'm going to go like that. I'm going to put the Pelicans as the best team in the plan. So this is a crazy, like the Western Conference was so much.
Hang on. I think I adjusted it because I knew.
Miscounting, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to put, and they're going to be right there.
Okay, so that's my final Western Conference rankings. That is really bad. Oh my goodness. You've got the Lakers and Rockets in the 11 through 15, which the Lakers are 3rd and the Rockets are 2nd. I had the Pelicans in the play-in tournament. They are one of the worst teams in the league. Oh my goodness. This was just bad. I think the Eastern Conference I definitely did a lot better in. But overall, like if you were to give myself a letter grade A through F, what would you give my preseason rankings on how I thought it would be based off of to finish the season? But anyways, we're going to go to the outro right now because this is a long video and I'm ready to get out of here. And I know you guys are ready to stop watching this video. Once again, thank you for tuning in to podcast number 50 of Sports Talk with JWock. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thank you all for the just continuous support for this podcast. And I apologize for not posting last week and not really giving you an update. I just really have not had time. Next week, make sure to stay tuned on Instagram at sportstalkwith_JWock3 to be able to check for when I will be uploading, because next week is Holy Week. And I'm going to, try to upload a little earlier so that I can spend the rest of the week, going to church and stuff like that, and rather than worrying and focusing on a podcast. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning into podcast number 50. Once again, I just realized the audio is a little quiet in the last video for the actual video part, and my voice is kind of loud, so I apologize for that, and I will definitely work on that in the future. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into podcast number 50 of Sports Talk with JWock. Check me out on all social media platforms. You can check me out on Instagram at sportstalkwith_JWock3. You can check me out on TikTok at Sports Talk with JWock. You could check me out on Facebook at Sports Talk with JWock. That's still a little bit of a work in progress. But you can now check me out on X or Twitter, if some of you guys know it that way, at Sports Talk with JWock as well. That's kind of new for me, but I'm still working on that. And you could also, if you don't want to watch the video, you can listen to it on Spotify at Sports Talk with JWock. And I actually don't know if this episode is going to be on Spotify. I'll keep you updated on that. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Sports Talk with JWock. I can't wait to see you all next week. God bless.